Hey folks, how you doing? Just thought I'd go ahead and answer Mrfartboy's latest thread questions while I have time. As I said, I'm about to hit the road for a week with my friend Gunnar Kleeman, who will be here in a little while. Got to go pick him up at the airport. Um, and I encourage you to check out his music. It's Cleemann. Just Google him. He's on MySpace. You can hear the music. It's really nice. I'll be on the next record. I'm not on this one. But anyway, give an example of brilliant lyrical writing. Who is your favorite lyricist? The quick answer for that, for me, is whose lyrics have been very significant to my life, and that would be Peter Gabriel, through his lyrics for Genesis as well as solo stuff. I must say though that the way that I listen to music, I listen for an overall sound picture. That's always the way I've been, as opposed to a listener who's focusing mainly on the lyrics or first upon what is being said. What is most important to me is the entire picture of music. And sometimes I can really enjoy music with banal or even bad words. But an example of a Peter Gabriel lyric that's been significant for me is the words to the song Chamber of 32 Doors off of Lamb Lies Down, where he talks about the difference between trusting a countryman than a city man, a person who works with their hands, a person who, what's the lyric, there's no need to sell if you're homeward bound. Just really simple, almost. I don't know, I would imagine some people might consider those things kind of pretentious maybe, or just common sense. But I heard those words at a time when I really needed to hear them. And so to me, they're brilliant. All due respect to all the writers that are considered brilliant by everyone. But for me, Peter Gabriel is an example of lyric writing that's very important. Number 2, in your opinion, what is the single most important event you've either witnessed or lived through in the history of rock and roll or music in general? I would state several things, but he's asking what is the single most, and I believe that for me the most important event was being part of the worldwide audience that witnessed the Beatles playing on Ed Sullivan for the first time. I guess I was maybe 8 years old, I think, 7 or 8 years old. And we always watched the Ed Sullivan show as a family, and was vaguely aware of who the Beatles were because of the radio. I listened to the radio, but I think I was kind of a slow kid in some ways, and so even though I would hear music, I didn't quite always understand what I heard. But when Ed Sullivan said the Beatles, I felt, to this day I remember the moment, I felt it like a shock through the room. And my sisters responded as well. Not my two brothers, but myself and my two sisters. When he said it, we screamed at the same time as the kids in the audience did. We felt it. It was just an electrical moment. I had no idea what I was screaming about, except that it was about these people that were coming on the screen to play this music. It's very magical music. And the Beatles, for me as a little boy, the way they looked to me was almost like not alien, but fantastical. Not cartoon-like, but definitely larger than life. And so that would be my answer to number 2. Although I definitely saw some amazing shows and met people who were gone, like pretty much all the Ramones, and met all of them, and could go on. But so number 3, what is the best album to party to? And you take party any way you like. And since most of my partying days are in my past, a couple albums that my friends, we really enjoyed partying to, and I'm talking about honest partying, because back when I was late teens, early 20s, really enjoyed a lot of LSD, and got turned on to Can and Genesis and Faust and Neu at that time. 1973, 74 was the time. And my closest circle of buddies, when we would get smashed, you know, do trips and stuff, one of the albums that we loved to play was the Faust tapes. So in that sense, the Faust tapes is one of my most favorite party records. I suppose I can grab my copy right quick. Show it. It's half blind, so I can't see things in the morning. Here we go. Yeah. Played the hell out of this. This is still, I wanted to replace it, but you just never see it, so I'd show this Faust tapes. 1 to 3 songs you'd like played at your funeral. I used to have the answer to this down pat as a teenager because I was very suicidal, and that song was Folk Song by Jack Bruce off of his album Harmony Row. And even though the song doesn't have the significance it had at the time, I would still vote as one of the songs to play at my funeral. Nothing else comes to mind. It's a good question. Just off the top of my head, I can't think of another song that sincerely I would want played, so that's my answer. 5. If you woke up tomorrow and your entire record collection was gone, never to be seen again, would you start over? What would you buy first? What would you do differently? Well, if that were to happen, this is something I've contemplated, especially through trying to get a philosophy of life that works for me. And as much as I love my records and I know that I'm, in a sense, attached to them, I definitely aspire to the philosophy and the value of non-attachment and impermanence, understanding that the idea that all of this is permanent and that it is mine or that it's anyone's is really an illusion. And I really understand that and try to live by that. And so what I'm saying is, you know, if we had a tornado or something naturally were to devastate my house and I lose my collection, part of it, all of it, I've thought about that very seriously. And of course there would be, you know, a tangible sense of grief and loss that I would go through. But I already understand that I don't own this, that in many ways it owns me mentally, because I allow it, because of the relationship that, you know, that I have with my records, you know, that I cultivate, you know, we all do with our thoughts, you know, it's part of how we live. But I also understand, again, that it would be a challenge for me to just, again, not so much let it go, but understand well the reality of it, which is that you can't take it with you and nothing is permanent. And so would I start over? At my age, I'm 55, I'll be 56 in July. It wouldn't be a thing of starting over. Would I be collecting again if that were possible? Well, of course. So, good, thought-provoking questions. And again, just a great thing to be a part of this music community. Please leave comments. I love comments. Talk to you.